What is up, guys? Rob here, and you are, of course, on Rule of Two Review, and today, Silent Hills gets even scarier. Holy freaking crap. Did you see that new concept trailer for PT, otherwise known as Silent Hills? Jesus freaking Christ. It was insane, it was madness, it was totally horrifying, and it was basically fucking awesome. So I know it seems as though there might be a horror kind of theme going on in all the Rule of Two Review videos lately. What with the 3 Resident Evil Revelations 2 videos I made in the last week, plus, of course, my initial Silent Hills /PT video that I made a couple of weeks ago during Gamescom when that was first revealed as Silent Hills. But that's really just what's been going on and what's been interesting me and to talk about. And I, of course, love horror games. I love Resident Evil, so I've made a couple videos about that. And I really, really love Silent Hill. So I've really enjoyed knowing that this new game and this new experience is coming, and the talent and the people behind it. That PT trailer, playable teaser demo thing that they did for PT that turned out to be Silent Hills was just awesome. Blew my mind. All the stuff that I watched on it online was great, and like one of my most favorite things to see, you know, like kind of play out. And then I actually had a chance with a couple of friends to try PT in person about 2 weeks ago. You know, on my friend's PlayStation 4, there was a couple of us playing, you know, in the dark, and it was terrifying. Even with a group of 4, maybe 5 of us, it was still really, really scary, and we all took turns going through it, and it was just great. It was wonderful, and I love Silent Hill. I spent a lot of time talking about Silent Hill, what I think the game could and should be, you know, my history with it, and what makes Silent Hill games good. So I'm going to link that video below. You should definitely check it out, because like I said, it's, you know, from one Silent Hills fan perspective, I'm hoping that it maybe kind of, you know, gives you guys some insight into what I think might be going on with this new game. And so now, Tokyo Game Show is going on 2014 right now. And, I mean, there's been a ton of news, lots of gameplay, lots of trailers coming out from the show this year. And most recently, about 2 days ago, was something, they showed this on stage, I believe, and it was, like I said, a concept trailer for Silent Hills / what they're still sort of calling PT. So yeah, of course, it's kind of hard to know exactly what to make of the idea of a concept trailer, quote unquote. It's like, you know, it's not necessarily a trailer for the game. It's not necessarily showing us what the game is going to be like, what's going to be in the game, who you might be playing as, an idea of the story or plot involved. What does it even mean that the game is Silent Hills, plural? It's kind of just exactly what it sounds like, I believe. I think it's just something else that they put together, a mock-up, so to speak, of maybe the kind of horror and the kind of tone and ideas that they're hoping to throw into this new game. And in that respect, I mean, it works wonderfully. There's kind of one sort of negative thing I want to touch on, but for the most part, it's a great trailer. It, you know, again, excuse me, a great concept trailer, for whatever that means. You know, what happens in this minute and a half or so video is some of the most uncomfortable and, you know, horrifying and just awkward-looking horror experiences I've ever seen in anything ever. It's incredibly unsettling. It's really unnerving. It, you know, it almost made me sick to my stomach. Not in the sense that it was like too gory for me to stand watching. Kind of sick to my stomach. It was really just like, oh my God, that's horrible. Like, I just was like, I was so scared watching it in the middle of the day, even when I finally checked it out. And it was just like, it just made me that uncomfortable. I was like, oh God, like this is awful. But at the same time, it was amazing because it's so effective. And that's kind of the thing that Silent Hill does really well. And again, I mentioned this on my previous video about it as well, you know, is that Silent Hill, the best horror that the games have ever given us, and the best of the games within the series, which we know that there are some not so good ones and some really great ones. The really great ones, what they're good at is the cerebral horror. Very different than what I think Resident Evil and stuff have tried to do with like the jump out kind of scares and stuff like that. Silent Hill very much is like wanting you to feel uncomfortable at all moments, even when you don't have something scary in front of you. And it's all about getting into your head to make you feel, you know, like questioning your morality and, you know, just making you feel uncomfortable internally, you know, and when it's at its best, that's what it's doing. So the idea of what they showed us in this trailer combined with what we know Silent Hill can do is really, really exciting. But it's also, I mean, what's present is very different than what's in, you know, most Silent Hill games. So again, I don't really want to spoil the trailer in and of itself for you. It's like I said, it's a minute and a half long. I'm going to also post that below. If you haven't seen it, for the love of God, watch it, but just be warned, because it is really uncomfortable and really, really scary, but that's what makes it good. But here's kind of the one thing that I think is just, I definitely can't say it's bad, I guess. It's just an interesting sort of approach to this whole release of this concept trailer, which is, if you remember when PT came out, the actual demo now 2 months ago-ish or whenever that was, you know, it's amazing, of course, and everyone was talking about it, and it had all this positive buzz. But they confirmed both in the trailer and on stage when Jeff Keighley interviewed Hideo Kojima about the game during Gamescom. You know, he basically said, like, it really isn't meant to be so much indicative of what the actual final game is going to be like. It's really just something that they wanted to put together to maybe still, I probably I guess how would I say, an interactive concept trailer, you know, to a degree. Like, it's really more ideas that they're messing with. But it wasn't necessarily showing this is the game, this is what it'll look like, this is the engine, it's going to be in first person, this is how you'll interact with the world, yada, yada, yada. Like, it basically sounded like that was all, had very, very little to do, more than anything probably set up for the character you're going to be playing as, who we now know will be Norman Reedus in the game. I think it's maybe more that, but it's not meant to be like, hey, this is what the new Silent Hill will be like, the end, period, be excited. And so when you see the concept trailer from a couple of days ago, it just kind of makes me wonder if, well, they blatantly call it nothing but a concept trailer here. They're blatantly saying these are concepts. So, I guess you can only take the ideas of what you see in that trailer and go so far with it. For all we know, I mean, none of those elements in that trailer would actually be in the final game. And here's the thing I will say about it, even if you haven't watched it. The thing about that trailer, again, it is great. It is an amazing minute and a half because it's the scariest thing I've ever seen. And I hope that a lot of this does make it into Silent Hill. But it's also so different. The pace is very different than Silent Hill games. I mean, in this trailer, it's like you're walking and, the character's walking and then like there's like a scary door and then there's a scary thing inside the door and then you're running and then there's a scary thing to one side and it's like, oh my God, I'm going to run away from that. And then I run and then there's another door and some shit blows up and then it's like looking back and forth, breathing heavy. Oh my God, this big thing is coming and it's coming after me and all the lights are going crazy. Like, oh, what do I do? Oh my God, there's a staircase downstairs. Do I go down or not? Oh my God, blah. And then it's like done. So... And the thing is, like, that is not how Silent Hill typically plays out. Silent Hill is a much slower, more calculated experience, both in how the games typically deliver the horror and the environments to us, and also how you play through it, and especially how you fight back, quote unquote. The kind of combat, which is not typically very good, but I also think purposefully not good in the Silent Hill games. It's nothing like running around, making quick decisions, twitch kind of reflexes type of stuff. That's not how Silent Hill plays, And that's, for a long time wasn't how Resident Evil played. Those games only recently started to bring that into the fray. So it almost like the pace of the trailer, even though there's no combat in it, the pace of it is more in line with the last couple of Resident Evil games. The horror was more in line with the best of Silent Hill. So it's a weird kind of mix. So it kind of makes you, and it also, again, doesn't look anything reminiscent, like, it's not reminiscent in any way of the PT demo, the playable demo from a couple weeks ago. Like, they almost look like they would have nothing to do with each other. So, other than the fact that they're just both scary games. So, there's a lot going on between the PT demo and the concept trailer from a couple days ago. It's all great stuff in and of itself. Again, as someone, I am a humongous Silent Hill fan, like just as much as a Resident Evil fan. I just love them for different reasons. The first 4 Silent Hill games, yes, I said 4 because fuck everybody. I think Silent Hill 4 is great, even though that game was not initially made to be a Silent Hill game and they kind of turned it into that during its development. I still think that's a great Silent Hill game. It's super scary, and I love the environments and the concept of the room. Again, I touch on how PT reminded me of Silent Hill 4 The Room in the other video, so I'm not really just trying to plug myself, but I do want you to hear the concept about PT and Silent Hill. So check out the video that I posted, my previous one, because I really go a little bit deeper into the whole way that those two could sort of connect. It's pretty cool. So I love those games. And Shattered Memories on the Wii. Like, Shattered Memories might be my favorite Silent Hill game, but it's probably Silent Hill 2, which is considered the best, and it pretty much is. But so it's kind of those ones. Regardless, the first 4 games in Shattered Memories are so good. They are like the best of horror that I've ever played in any horror game. They're just amazing. So I believe that honestly, whatever this game ends up being is going to be great. I hope that they don't do... Okay, how would I say it? So there's a particular balance I think that they're going to need to strike, and they're going to maybe struggle to do so. It's going to be hard because they don't want to fall into Resident Evil territory with how much they've changed the series from its initial roots And while I've said a couple times, I still think even the worst games in the Resident Evil series are still good games, like 5 and 6. They're definitely not the best Resident Evil games, and they're straying from the formula. And they're also alienating fans. People are mad about that. People don't like those new games. They want the old stuff. And so with Silent Hill, there's a great opportunity to adapt Silent Hill for the new generation, the new technology, the new things available to us, the new systems, all this great things. You know, how scary they can make stuff. You know, they could probably make a game as scary as what this concept trailer shows. So they have a great opportunity to do that, and they should do that. But if they stray too far in any one direction, they might pull a Resident Evil, quote unquote, and do something where they stray too far, and then it almost is unrecognizable as a Silent Hill game or a Silent Hill experience. It just happens to have that smashed on the box. And then you're going to end up making fans mad, and honestly, Silent Hill fans have already had to deal with the fact that Downpour and Homecoming weren't very good, and that really sucks that those weren't very good, because I was really excited for Downpour to be awesome, and it was just not very good at all. I did not like that game, so I don't know. Maybe, hopefully that makes sense, you know, as a Silent Hill fan. Like, where are they going to go with it? Are they going to tread down the Resident Evil territory? Are they going to stick with the Silent Hill more recent track record and just kind of, you know, find a way to make that game really, really good? So it's going to be exciting. The concept trailer puts a lot of cool ideas in our heads. If anything, even if it never ends up having anything to do with the final product, which I suspect may be the case, it's still fucking awesome, man. So you should definitely check it out. It's a great minute-and-a-half trailer of complete uncomfortable madness. It is not a fun thing to watch. It's just an awesome thing to watch. So yeah, you know, those are basically my thoughts on the new Silent Hills concept trailer and what's going on with the game potentially. And you know, there's really not much we know. We have the demo and we have the concept trailer, and as far as we know, none of them might even have anything to do with the final product. So pretty weird situation, but it's all good stuff. That's what I think. What is it you guys think? And that's it. So that's my little convo about the Silent Hills /PT concept trailer. Crazy cool shit. Please go and check it out. Also check out my other video about PT below. I talk about a lot of stuff when it comes to Silent Hill, so if you're a fan, I think you're probably going to like it if you haven't seen it already. Also, go and check out the concept trailer if you haven't seen it. Like I said, it's pretty amazing. So, you know, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts. What do you think about the concept trailer, and where do you think the new Silent Hills game could end up going, especially with Kojima and Del Toro in the mix? So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what I'm doing, please subscribe to Rule of Two Review. It helps spread the content and all that good stuff. Follow the links below to the Facebook page and the Twitter, both of which I run and operate very frequently. Of course, if you like the video, you can like and share it, and you should definitely share your thoughts about PT and Silent Hills below. And thank you for tuning in. I will, of course, catch you guys on the next video.